Welcome to the Python and OpenAI tutorial. Today we will learn how to connect Python to OpenAI's interface and API, unlocking powerful AI capabilities for your own applications. I have personally integrated this with Django backend and WebSocket and even created a Next.js UI using Tailwind. For your learning, executing the Python code itself will suffice. You can get your API keys, keep it somewhere hidden, let's say into an environment variable. So as I mentioned, remember, keep it secure and never share it publicly. Writing the Python script. So I would request you to follow along with me. Saving the module, create a folder first, chat OpenAI, create a Python file, chatopenai.py, where we'll be writing our class and function. So let's get into coding. So to organize your coding, please do provide a docstring. I have mentioned within the docstring, this is a class where we are writing some function for the OpenAI. So let's begin with importing necessary libraries or modules. Next, defining a class name, ChatGPT itself to handle OpenAI functions. Here, class that I have named it ChatGPT, you can name it as you desire. Definition in it, is the constructor here and what we are initializing at the object creation, OpenAI dot API key, os.getEnv, OpenAI key. That's where we are getting the OpenAI key. Next, initializing an empty list. Like fetching the model's data and storing it in a JSON file for my future reference. Self model data, whatever we have got it, and JSON file itself, and the indent we have given 4 so that the formatting appears to be correct. The most important function that we have written is the API response function, and it takes the prompt and it returns an optional string, as we might not get a response as well. That's why we have written here optional string. I have used text DaVinci 003 model. This parameter specifies the model that will be used for text generation. In this case, it's text DaVinci 003, which is a specific version of GPT-3 model provided by OpenAI. Its accuracy and all, you can please go and read and get the official documentation reference. Prompt, the prompt itself, you would be seeing what prompt we are sending. Temperature value, I have given here 0.9. Temperature value or the parameter itself is a hyperparameter that controls the randomness of the generated output. max token. Please be mindful to use minimum token. I have used here 150 tokens. This parameter limits the length of the generated response to a specified number of tokens. In this case, it restricts the response to a maximum of 150 tokens. Top underscore p equal 1. Top p nucleus sampling is a technique that controls the diversity of the generated text. A value of 1 means that the entire probability mass is considered, so it effectively does not constrain the output. Frequency penalty equals 0. This parameter controls how much the model avoids generating repetitive phrases. A higher value would discourage repetition. It's set to 0, so there is no penalty for now. Presence penalty equal 0.6. Presence penalty controls how much the model avoids writing text that is unlikely to be like an input, as an example. Finally, the most important parameter is the stop parameter. Here I have given two keys, human and AI. This parameter provides a list of string that, if generated by the model, will signal the end of the response. In this case, if the generated text contains human or AI, it will consider the end of the response. I hope you are with me so far understanding this API response function. I have created a JSON object with generated text and text itself. So, generated text, how we are getting response.get choices is the key. You can see it later, you can print and see, and from that first value I am getting it. That's the generated text that I will be using for my future reference. Text, I am extracting the exact text from the response from the choices, and I am also sending it across along with the JSON response. Except, exception, if there is something goes wrong, we are just printing it here for now. Let's understand create prompt function. This function takes message as a string parameter, PL as a list parameter, and it attempts to return a string type variable. Here what I did, uMessage as a string type variable, and it has been formatted with a human keyword along with the message, and then we are sending it to update prompt uMessage and the PL, and it will be updated. Then we are adding to prompt str using the join method and with the PL, and then we are returning this prompt itself. Next function, update prompt. It does not really return any value, rather it appends the PL with the message. So, it takes two parameter, message as a string and PL as a list. Finally, we have written a main function getResponse. It takes message as a string type, PL as a list type, and it attempts to return as a string type variable. Here I have initialized prompt as a string type variable, and then create prompt is been called with the message and PL, and whatever it returns, it will be stored on the prompt. And from the prompt, what I did, I have recreated another variable called as bot response as of string type, and then it gets it from the API underscore response by sending the prompt itself. Finally, if there is any response that we get the text out and we are updating the prompt, sending the bot response and the PL as the list so that it updates there. Next, as you see, I am trying to extract the location of the AI text, AI keyword, which is found in the bot response. And if the location is found and if it is not negative values, it is trying to extract from that position to all other text. But in case anything goes wrong, we are returning something went wrong as a response from the get response function. So as you can understand, get response function is the entry point of this class. So whenever you call get response function from the object passing the message and the PL list, it will try to send you a response. Let's see how to use this function. So in this test open AI Python file, as always, we have written what is the purpose of this function, what is the purpose of this file. This is to test the chat OpenAI class and function. Here we have imported the chat GPT from the chat OpenAI module. As you see, the prompt list, creating the prompt list is the core of how to use this entire function. Here we have created a prompt list of type list and then we have passed some values here. Please do refer as I explain you. First, I am training the model. I am saying to the model, you become a Python expert and developer for today, and you respond with yes. When you respond with yes, when human says something to you, what is Python as an example, then you respond as an AI saying Python is a high level, versatile and widely used programming language used in various industry domain as an example. So with this prompt list, it gets the base setup, it understands human can ask this type of question, and then as an AI it should respond accordingly. That's called training the model. Next, we have initialized a message variable with a string hello. For now, it's a very hard-coded value, but as I mentioned, I have integrated with my front end where you can perform the front end sending the message and then it goes through your WebSocket channel and then it comes as a variable. Then you publish the message itself. And again, we are using the WebSocket and republish back whatever the response we are getting. After the execution, I got model.json file created, and inside the model.json file, there are tons of information that you can go and read and what type of models that is available and all you can use. All these informations are there, and on the terminal, as you see, I have got the response from the AI after reading my hello message. I hope this is useful for you. If you are trying something similar, I hope I could help you something. And if you like this tutorial, I will continue to do more such tutorial accordingly. Help me subscribe to my channel so that I can understand you are interested, and I will continue to post more advanced topics on Python itself.